Welcome back. Hi, Dukes.
Hey, Sir.
This is my friend Dukes. Dukes is a producer, and we're both from Boston, Massachusetts.
Indeed.
Dukes moved out to LA, where everyone's hip, for college, and he hasn't been back since. We haven't seen him since.
Well, that's not true. I've been back to Massachusetts many times.
We'll cut that out.
I haven't been here to Florida.
We'll get that out of there.
All right.
The reason that I've got Dukes here is so that we can plan out the next phase of his illustrious career, but also so that he can show me all the cool things that he creates with. And one thing I've been fascinated while he's been here about is this film camera. You shoot photographs on film.
I shoot photographs.
How did that
on film?
How did that start?
Well, how did it start?
That's what I asked you.
I got a regular camera.
Yeah.
I got a DSLR camera.
Hey, DSLR.
Canon Rebel. Shout
Remember
out
those?
Canon. About 3.5 years ago.
Okay.
And kind of was interested in photography as a hobby. And then I started seeing a lot more folks on Instagram using film, and I was like, man, I really like the look of that.
Because you're
Super
too
cool.
hip.
I'm too hip for digital.
Yeah.
I think is what it is.
So what is it about that look that you liked better?
I love like the grain, obviously, right? I also think the color on film is just so like beautiful and captivating to me. Like it's not nearly as crisp as digital, but I kind of like the texture of it, I guess.
Yeah.
Would be like,
the same reason you might like tape saturation on a track.
And I do.
Yeah.
So, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm an analog boy in a digital world.
Analog boys. I'm going to throw up a graphic, Analog Boys. It's going to be like our intro.
I like it. So I knew I wanted a film camera. I was like, I barely knew how to shoot digital, but I was like, I want to learn how to shoot film. I want to get a film camera.
So step one was buy a film camera?
Yep. Step one, I went to a photo shop in San Francisco called Glass Key Photo. They're really great. If you're in the San Francisco area, check them out. Really nice guys. I'd done some research. I was looking at this camera. I was also looking at an Olympus, like a couple other ones. But
you went with Canon.
I knew that this was a really good starter film camera. It's very easy to use.
Yeah.
It's got a light meter on it, so you have a sense of what's what and what you need to set your aperture at to.
But this is a pretty old camera.
This is an old camera.
How old?
Like early to mid 80s. I'm not actually sure. I haven't looked up my serial number, but it's older than you or I.
Okay.
I can confidently say that.
Okay.
It was born before us.
This is the adult in the room.
Yeah, it sure is.
How long did it take you to get to a place where you felt like you were decent at like shooting film photography?
Honestly, I feel like I picked it up pretty quick, and I don't say that to sound arrogant. But like,
I picked this up pretty quick.
The first time I went and shot a roll of film, I got it back, and I was like, whoa, these actually look really good.
I think that's what I love about videography and photography is that like you might not be able to control what you want out of it, but even if you're out of control, it still comes out like I made that.
Yeah, and to be fair, like I had, like a 1.5, 2 years experience like learning about just photography, like what's ISO and what's exposure and shutter speed and all these things. So those things all apply to film. The only difference is you don't get the immediate feedback of like, here's the picture I took.
Let's monitor that real quick. I can just press this play button back here and I see what happened.
Right.
You have to wait until you go to a place.
Can't do that. You gotta get it developed.
Yeah.
So
but you were telling me they're gonna be coming out with stuff that allows you to potentially.
I've seen some stuff on Kickstarter. I don't know if it's made yet or not. I am a supporter, so hopefully they let me know what's going on. But yeah, it's like some kind of like attachment that you can put onto the bottom of the camera, and it's like a little block that gives you like a preview of what the image might look like.
That's so dope. So the reason I'm asking you about this is because our channel is Full Stack Creative, and you are a producer and a singer, and you also do this film photography. And they serve each other.
They do. I mean, the idea of Full Stack Creative is definitely something I relate to. I do most of my own videos. I do all my own photography. I do, most of the creative stuff behind my music. So it really comes in handy. Being able to just kind of get it all done and obviously not have to hire anyone is nice.
And lately, you've been making these little like snippet videos that some of it includes your own filming.
Ladies and you're running round, hanging with the crowd, putting your business in the streets and talking out loud.
Do you think that learning film photography gave you a head start in videography, where you feel like you've got composition and stuff?
Composition, yeah. I think that's like, you know, learning about good composition
and properly exposing.
Properly exposing, yeah. I think that all, like, you know, it's cool because these cameras honestly are simpler in a lot of ways than digital. You know, like they're obviously more challenging to use because again, you don't get the immediate. This is what the picture looks like. Yeah. But for the most part, they're pretty easy to use.
And you've actually sold your photography because of your music.
I have.
Yeah. So tell us about that.
So we did an album launch through Entrepreneur for my last record, and one of the upsells I had for merch was some prints of limited edition prints of my photography. I kind of laid the logo over it. Yeah. And I sold out of them, which was
sold out.
Super cool.
It's cool because there's a lot of photographers out there who have never sold one print, and this guy's not even trying, and he's sold out of his first run of prints.
That's right. That's right.
So yeah, it definitely benefits to be like very diverse in your creative skills.
Yes. Yeah. Jack of all trades, as they say.
Yeah.
Master of none. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that's kind of like, do I need the last 20% of it? You know, like. Most people don't know the difference.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome, man. Yeah. So, what is this thing?
This is my bag of undeveloped film. So
and you just have to carry that around with
20 rolls. I don't have to, but I'm traveling back to Massachusetts to visit my family, and there's a shop back there that I like what they do, and it's cheap.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. Film is expensive. That sucks.
Film is expensive.
So a roll of film, depending on what kind of film you're getting, is anywhere from $6 to $10.
Okay.
And then to develop it is another anywhere from $10 to $15
per picture
per roll of film.
Okay.
But per roll of film, you're looking at $20, give or take.
Okay.
Just to shoot and develop one roll of film.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Because I don't ever have to pay for storage or development.
No.
Ever.
But yeah, so this is all undeveloped film that I want to get developed. There's a bunch of stuff in here. There's stuff from some trips I've been on recently. I think there's a roll or two from when I got here to Orlando.
Nice.
There's some stuff from my old house. I mean, it's kind of cool because you like forget what is actually even on these rolls of film, and then you get them back and you're like, oh, cool. Like that was this picture that I took like 8 months ago.
And so the last thing that I will say about that I learned about his film photography that's really cool is that, you know, as a videographer, I can slap a filter on this lens or use a 4x4 filter to make this look different or make the light streaky. I could edit it in post and use a digital kind of process which has its own inherent limitations to make it get a cool look, but you can use special film.
Yes.
To get a cool look, which I can't.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different film that you can get. I mean, there's the big stuff, right, with like Kodak and Fujifilm. There's a company that I found recently called Revelog. Shout outs, Revelog. And they make various kind of special effect film, which does like different techniques. I assume at some point during the emulsion. I'm not entirely certain how it works.
Right.
But it's cool, and you get like random particle effects and orbs and different color distortion, and it all happens like naturally during the developing process.
A lot of the time when we're grading these videos, like the grade that you see on this video right now, I'm trying my best to get it to behave, the film to behave like one of these brands of film. Like, you know, we're trying hard to get a Rec 709 image, which is the color space. It's like a neutral color profile to get it to like Fuji or Kodak. And it's cool that you just get it right out of the camera.
You can just get it. I'm probably most partial to Kodak. I use their Portra series film, which comes in a bunch of different ISOs.
By the way, ISO is International Standards Organization, and it's just a number that determines how sensitive the film is to light.
Yes.
Now, on a digital camera like this one, I can bump the ISO, but it's just increasing the gain of the signal, and you start to see it's very noisy in the image. It's awful. Whereas this film, it's not going to get nearly as noisy as you go higher in ISO as this will, because it's not boosting gain. The film is actually physically more sensitive to light.
Yeah, it basically just gets grainier. And to be noted with the film camera, right, like you can't change your ISO once the film, I mean, well, you can, but then you have to tell the lab that you basically, you shot it at a different, your light meter was set to a different ISO.
Gotcha.
But if you put in 400 film, that's what you're shooting on, 400 ISO.
So what do you want to do? Like, you're keeping your film a hobby?
For now. keeping it a hobby. I like that shooting photo is something that I don't get paid for. It's you know, music is currently my creative endeavor in which I'm trying to have a professional career, continued career. Photo is just kind of for me. It's for fun.
That's awesome.
Maybe on the horizon, somewhere down the line, I will start trying to sell my photos. But
people, with the prints, people ask you for larger prints.
They did.
Yeah, they asked you for like canvas size.
Yep.
That's dope. So like, I would say my message to people out there is like, jump into any creative field that interests you, because it can pay dividends.
Yes.
And thank you so much, Dukes, for coming by and telling us about this film.
Canon AE1.
Yeah.
It's a great camera.
If you like this video, please make sure to like and subscribe, because we drop new videos like this 3 times a week. And we'll see all of you guys next time on Full Stack Creative.
So long. Wonderful.